Hey guys, welcome back to my Young Justice series/series finale review. Now, we left off last, I was talking about some of the main characters that I like, talking about which ones were my favorite, which ones were my favorite, and I left one character out from my last videos, specifically for this video, because he's my main character and I wanted to talk about him a little bit. I will get to some of the other things about the show as well as the series finale. Because this video will mostly be talking about the series finale and a little bit of things from Season 2, but I want to get to this one character first. Now, the one character that I left off that you probably all immediately guessed was my favorite character was, of course, Robin. Now, you're already probably saying that the only reason why I like Robin as a character in this and as my favorite character is because of, well, Batman. I mean, I'm a huge Batman fan, so of course I would pick the character that's most close to the Batman in the series besides, well, Batman. And that is a little bit true, but there's also another reason for why I really, really, really love this character in the show. And it really, the immediate moment where both I figured out who my favorite character was, / immediately where I became a huge addicted fan to the show, was in the episode, I got it right here, hold on. Episode 17 of Season 1, Disordered, where after the whole training exercise went completely awry and just got completely fucked up, all the characters were basically given therapy sessions, and then where we got to Robin, where it was his first time as being a leader of the team, and everyone basically died. It was a training simulation, so, you know, they didn't die. And where he basically said that when he was younger, first became Robin, he wanted to be the Batman. He wanted to be his mentor. He wanted to be Batman. But after what happened, he figured that he doesn't want to do that because he doesn't have really what it takes to be Batman. What it takes to be Batman is to, you know, just completely keep in the pain that is to, you know, have somebody, you know, to keep in the pain of sacrifice, and that he doesn't want to be the Batman anymore. He doesn't want to be like Batman anymore. He doesn't want to be like that. Now, where it really got me was he does. When he becomes Nightwing, he takes over the team, and everyone is his responsibility now, and sacrifice can happen at any moment. That is the reason why Robin is my #1 favorite character. Not really because he's Batman's sidekick, but also because of that scene in that episode. You can probably find it on my channel. It's in my favorites section, so you can probably find it. If not, then just look it up. You'll find it immediately. But that's at the point where that was my favorite character, and I knew it. This is immediately now my favorite TV show ever, and I must watch it all the time. So that's the reason why he's my favorite character personally. I love all the other characters. I just love this character because of that, and it's so very true and deep and dark and just very, very touching in a way. Now, I'm going to get to Season 2 quick, because we have to talk about the season finale, series/series finale, so let's get to that quick. Now, Season 2, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the first video, but I absolutely love Season 2, mostly because it took a lot of risks. Like, immediately, like, right off the bat, it took the biggest risk, which was placing it instead of just moments after the last season, literally years, 5 years to be exact, after the last season, where some of the characters are grown up, they're a little bit more older, and we've actually have many, many team members in here, which is another risk of having all these other characters being here without developing them or without completely showing us who they are, which was really, really a big risk, but it actually turned out to really be a cool idea, because when I first heard that they were doing this whole 5-year gap thing and this whole 5-year fast-forward thing, I kind of thought it was a really big cop-out, because you set up this first season where we have all these new characters, and we get so used to them and stuff, and when you just have most of them be gone in the second season, it's kind of a dumb move. But then the more I thought about it, it would have taken seasons upon seasons just to get where these characters are now, and this is something that I think I and many others really wanted to see, like Nightwing and the Arsenal story, Blue Beetle, The Reach, Batgirl, the whole Bat family too, which is badass and awesome. Robin, Nightwing, Batman, and Batgirl. That was amazing. They even had one episode where they're all fighting together, but I'm straying away from the point. It took a lot of risks, especially in the season finale. I'll get to that in a minute. This is just my personal favorite because it just had so many risks, so many new characters that really stuck out to me, and just really packed a whole bunch in this just season alone, which was actually like 6 episodes less than that the last season, which really means a lot, which really says a lot. That's pretty awesome. So, personally, I just love this season a little bit more than the first one. Not that the first one is bad, this one was just a little bit better in my opinion. I know a lot of people will disagree, but it's just my opinion. If you think different, then make your own video talking about it. What else do we have? And some of the characters that were in the actual show was big fan service, and it was very big fan service, but it was actual fan service instead of just fan disservice, where they put a whole bunch of characters in one big pot and barely had any time to develop any of them, and it just turned out to be fan disservice for fan service. So I really like that they actually pulled that off very nicely. Again, and a little bit less than the amount of episodes that were in the last season, which was pretty impressive in my opinion. And last but not least, let's get to the series finale of Young Justice. Now, my overall opinion of this series finale, it topped the War episode, which I actually made a whole separate video talking about that episode, saying that, oh my god, it was the greatest idea, greatest episode ever of Young Justice. This episode actually topped that. And because everyone was there, they got every single, like, last team member, every single superhero that exists in that universe there. Well, not every superhero, but most of them. Every team member just to all come around and just like stop these bombs from going off all over the world. It was just amazing. That whole shot where the camera's just like going over every single team member. I flash back to like the Avengers, where like the camera was circling around all the team members. I flash back to that. It was just so very reminiscent of that and stuff like that. It was amazing. I also found it funny that Lex Luthor, of all people, really wanted to like help the team out and say, you know, hey, it's my planet too. I don't want to die. So take this stuff, blow these bombs up, you're good to go. That was just really funny. And then we kind of figure out why he did that, just to get a whole bunch of publicity, and to look like a good guy and stuff like that. Like, let's see the hero of, the world, he saved the world and stuff like that. That was pretty funny. And Superman was just like, Superman sees this on the TV, he's just like, that's bullshit right there. That was just really funny. That was just really, really funny. But then we get to some very, very depressing things. Now, this is a review of the series finale, so if you don't want to be spoiled, that is, if you haven't seen the episode, do not watch the rest of this video, because it will be very, very spoiler-filled. Go watch the episode. You can probably find it online, or like a rerun of it tomorrow or something. But this episode actually does have a death in the episode. Not like a fake one, which they did in many episodes before, but an actual death. And seeing as how this is series finale, they couldn't possibly come back and just make the character come back, and he's perfectly alive and fine and well. No. The character that dies in this episode is actually one of the founding team members of the Young Justice team, which is, sadly, Kid Flash. And that actually really depressed the hell out of me after I watched the episode. My jaw literally dropped to the floor, and I was just in awe. Like, of all the characters they killed off, Kid Flash, it was both very strange that they chose Kid Flash, and also incredibly depressing that they killed Kid Flash. Like, it was insane. And it was very reminiscent of I guess, Barry Allen's death, the actual Flash, and I think Crisis on Infinite Earths. I don't know. I read it up and I heard it on various other reviews. I thought I might as well mention it, but it was very reminiscent of that, of the Flash's death. Running around, really fast. It was so sad to see that actually happen, and it was really weird that that of all the characters that he dies too, but it was so sad. It was like it was like Star Wars, like, 1,000, a thousand fangirls were crying and then were suddenly silenced. It's like, dude, like, what the fuck just happened? And it was just so sad. It hit me. It hit me home. It hit me right here. It was just it depressed me. It really fucking depressed me. And I was just so sad that one of the funniest characters in the show, had to die. I was just, like, so sad. And especially seeing as how it wasn't, like, a fake out. It might have been. They might have brought him back sometime if they had a third season. Because, let's face it, all comic book characters eventually come back to life, whether it be a reboot or they actually come back to life. Sadly, we won't see Kid Flash, come back anytime soon. So, Rufus, you're the hero. You're the hero of the world. Buck up. But, now we're going to get to some stuff that actually really fucking pissed me off. Alright? Again, spoilers. If you have not seen the episode, why, I have no idea, but if you have not seen the episode, go watch it, go do whatever. Spoiler territory here, because if you bitch at me, then you're an idiot, because you're not listening. Get your ears cleaned. But, the ending, and I mean the very ending, not because Kid Flash died, that was just depressing, it wasn't really pissing me off. The very ending, okay? Vandal Savage in the last episode, the episode before the series finale, the episode before Endgame, he took the War World, and it's like a ship, so it can, actually move. The War World, he took it, and he went to, again, spoiler alert, okay? He went to Apocalypse. Spelled with a K instead. I don't know why. Because poor literacy is cool, I guess. Like Linkara said. Now, you see where I'm going with this. I mentioned Apocalypse. You see where I'm going with this. And Vandal Savage shakes hands and meets up with... You know what? I'm not even going to use any words for this. I'll just get you an image because it's insane. Vandal Savage... Again, spoilers here. If you have not seen the episode, leave now. Critical spoiler alert here. I'm going to show you. Vandal Savage meets up on Apocalypse. Oh, who's getting on Apocalypse? Well, he meets... Yeah, him. He meets up with him. Yep, this guy right here. Meet up with him. Right there. This guy. Not him, not Vandal Savage. This guy, he meets up with him on Apocalypse. And for those of you who don't know, who is that, you may ask? That's Darkseid. And he's the biggest, baddest, and most possible... and the most powerful villain in all of the DC universe. I don't care what people say about, like, Joker or, Lex Luthor. Darkseid. He's the most powerful villain in all of the DC universe. They were going to do a season 3. They were going to have him in it. They were going to have him do something critical that would have made this show completely different. And then they canceled it. Now you see my problem. They had Darkseid show up. They had him allude to a third season, but they canceled the show. No, that's bullshit. I call bullshit. Alright? I would have been perfectly happy with, like, a middle finger to... It would have been better if they ended just on the last frame of the show, a huge middle finger to all the fans and all the dedicated fans that absolutely love this show. I would have rather taken that. That would have been more respectful to the characters and every person that loved this show. That would have been better. Like, of all the time that you had of this show and when it was canceled, you couldn't have just, like, snipped that out? You really couldn't have just, like, just went snip, snip, done? Like, really? Like, that, like, you couldn't have just cut that out? Because you knew we were going to be pissed either way, Cartoon Network. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, like, the Nostalgia Critics' reaction to the ending of Sonic Sat AM. It's like they had this whole cool setup for, like, a next season, and then you cancel it when you're just getting started? That's another thing I love about Young Justice. They keep on upping the ante in every single season. You know, first season was Just the Light. Second season, The Reach and the Light. And then this is going to be not The Reach, The Light and Dark Side. You don't end a series based on DC comic characters without having Darkseid in it. Just JLU, Just League Unlimited had that. You don't have it here? You have him show up for like a second, don't even have him have a line, and then you just end it? That's bullshit. No, you tell that story. You continue that. You don't just end it and say, oh, canceled. You show that. You show what happens. Done. You couldn't have just, like, cut that shit out. It just had, like, a little allusion to it. Like, it could have been left to interpretation whether or not they did that. Oh, no, well, this fucking